Recently, I had the good fortune of being blessed with some king crab legs. It wasn't enough to have a crab feed for two people, especially considering crab is my wife's all-time favorite food. I took into consideration what meals I could put together that would stretch our crab good fortune, but still feel like we were spoiling ourselves. I decided that some large ravioli stuffed with our sweet crab meat and mixed with creamy Boursin cheese seemed to live up to our meal hopes and dreams. A meal that was rich, luxurious, and reminiscent of us living our best lives. This all turned out to be a really good idea. Step 1 is to simply pre-make the pasta dough an hour or more before mealtime. Combine the flour, semolina, eggs, and salt and work into a smooth dough. I'm not going to lie, this will require a little effort for the best results. Once your dough is nice and smooth, wrap it up and put it in the refrigerator until you're ready to make your ravioli. To get my sauce started, I'm cubing up bacon to render down in a frying pan. No rush, so I put it on low and let it render down slowly. When the bacon is crispy, transfer to a paper towel lined plate. And while that's happening, we can work on our filling. I was fortunate enough to have Lorena, aka sous chef extraordinaire, help remove the meat from the crab legs. Once that is done, the filling goes together lickety-split. Squeeze any excess moisture from the crab meat before mixing it in a bowl with lemon zest, herb and garlic boursin, and grated parmesan. Gently combine these ingredients and place in the refrigerator until needed. Recently, I have been feeling the fresh pasta vibe, and with a teeny bit of pre-planning for the dough, the rolling part is quick and maybe even a little bit therapeutic. That is, if you're not making for a crowd. When you are ready to make the ravioli, split the pasta dough in half. Using a rolling pin and a minimal amount of flour, roll the portion of dough slightly to allow it to fit into the pasta machine on the thickest setting. Continue to pass the sheet of pasta through the machine on increasingly thinner settings until the thinnest setting is reached. At this point, you should be able to see light through it. Set aside the first sheet of pasta laid out on a work surface and repeat with the second half of the dough. Crack an egg into a small bowl and whisk with a fork to combine to make an egg wash. On one of the sheets of pasta, place a spoonful of filling every 2 to 3 inches apart depending on the size of the raviolis you want. Using a pastry brush, brush a little of the egg wash around the filling. Now you can drape the second sheet of pasta over top, stretching where needed. Use your hands to cup the filling and squeeze any trapped air out. Press down around the filling to seal the top and bottom doughs together. Then you can use a knife or a rolling cutter to cut individual raviolis. These can be transferred to a plate until ready to cook. To make our pasta sauce, remove all but 2 tablespoons of bacon fat from the frying pan. Heat the pan and add shallot and garlic, stirring for a minute. Add your flour to absorb the bacon fat and continue to cook while stirring for another minute. Then you can stir in the lemon juice and the white wine, giving it a very thorough stir to prevent lumps. Bring this to a simmer for a couple minutes before adding the chicken stock and heavy cream. Once this has come back to a simmer, add back your crispy bacon and adjust the seasoning with kosher salt and black pepper. Bring a large pot of salted water to a boil. Gently submerge the ravioli into the boiling water and cook for 3 to 4 minutes while gently moving the water in the pot. Of course, we wouldn't want these raviolis to stick together. Once your ravioli are done, you can transfer them to the pan with the sauce and gently toss to combine. It is now time to sample your wares. The delicate pasta dough filled with sweet luxurious crab meat and creamy boursin did not disappoint. All in all, a fairly easy meal to put together, and there is something really special about working with fresh pasta.